Apparently, the United States Army is just allowing anybody to join these days. I mean, you can literally fail the ASVAB test or be deemed extremely overweight and still be able to sign a contract. Welcome to 2023. Whew, it is a great day to join the Army. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down to you the all-new 09 mic option, or the more commonly referred to as the Future Soldier Preparatory Course, allowing potential recruits who would normally be deemed ineligible to join under the current circumstances to be able to possibly join by allowing them who failed the ASVAB or who are grossly overweight but do not exceed a certain body fat percentage for their age and gender to still be able to sign a contract to participate in this pilot program called the Future Soldier Preparatory Course. So with that being said, in this video, what you can expect is knowing what are the eligibility requirements, what is it, how does it work, and what do you expect at the training site throughout this program. So with that being said, let's get started. Here we go! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. I must say that this is by far the most requested video since this program was revealed and initiated in August of 2022. I know that my videos are pretty long and information dense, but I promise you they are highly informative for a reason, okay? But for your viewing pleasure, I put down chapters down below for you to skip around to the more important parts or the more interesting parts of the video so that you could, get what you came here for. But this video is gonna explain everything to you. So if you go down to the comment section and you ask me a question that I've clearly addressed in this video, I'm just gonna tell you to watch the video, all right? You've been warned. With over 18 years of experience as a recruiter, I've seen and experienced a lot. And based on my observations, as the years go on, more and more applicants are less qualified to be able to join due to the, the obesity epidemic and the lack of basic 10th grade level math and English skills. Back in my day, we weren't allowed to use calculators. We had to go everything off of memory. We were more physically active, playing more outdoors. Physical education was more prevalent, more important and focused on, whereas today, not so much. Technology is awesome. And with that being said, in my opinion, it is a blessing and a curse, because with the technology, we are more dependent on our devices than it is to memorize certain things and to keep it up here in the event that we actually need it. So with that being said, it also has helped us be more lazy, because we're either playing video games on the internet, we're on our phones, right? Like my daughter's on her phone all the time. I'm guilty of it too myself, to be perfectly honest with you. Combine that with the fact that if not all high schools across this country, the majority of high schools across this great country is allowing their students to use calculators on tests, thus making our potential applicants at a disadvantage because you're not allowed to use a calculator on the ASVAB test. And the implementation of Common Core over the recent history, right? Don't get me started on Common Core, right? During the Rona, this guy right here who sucks at math, had to teach my daughter first grade math. It was bad, very bad. I looked at my daughter, I was like, I don't know if we're gonna pass math, baby girl. Ooh, you might have to redo first grade. But in all seriousness though, with the math, at least with first grade math, the teacher was basically sharing with them 5 different ways to get to the correct answer, and depending on their method that resonates more with the student, that's the method that they should use. But I was like, listen, teach, I don't know if you know this, but when you have a buffet and you have too many options, you get confused as, all right? So why can't we just do it the way we've been taught? Like, this crap makes absolutely no sense. It's inefficient, takes longer, and adds unnecessary steps. Like, I just don't get Common Core. I just don't. Please, for the love of God, get rid of it. It's failing the United States. That's my opinion, and I back it up 200%. It is not one thing that is responsible for the lack of quality in our students today, but it is the sum of all things together that is creating this recipe for a disaster. I say all that to say this, that if you have been to MEPS, your military entrance processing station, and you have failed your body fat tape test, meaning that you are deemed overweight, or have failed your ASVAB test, meaning your Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test, which is your entrance exam to A, join, and to figure out what job skills you qualify for, listen up to the following. I'm happy to announce that there's probably hope at the end of your tunnel, so stay tuned. Warning, regulations and policies are forever changing, and always confirm with your local recruiter for updates. At the time of this recording in January of 2023, this is the information and the eligibility requirements for the Future Soldier Preparatory Course. The Future Soldier Preparatory Course is actually two separate programs, one for the academics for those who have failed the ASVAB test, and the other dealing with body fat composition with those who have failed the height and weight and the body fat tape test. As previously described, these two programs are currently at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, with the intent of expanding to at least Fort Benning, Georgia, and there are talks to opening up some more locations at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. So with that being said, Army Times is reporting that these two programs are having a success rate of over 84% in both these programs. So due to the high success rates of these two programs, the Army is very well invested on investing in our potential recruits to make them eligible and meet the normal standards of the United States Army. So yes, you are not qualified, do not meet the minimum eligibility standards to come in, but you have the ability to temporarily join and then get yourself within the guidelines to meet that qualification in the first 90 days or be discharged. Like, I don't know if you can comprehend or understand fully like how great this opportunity is for a potential recruit looking to join the United States Army. Like, you're literally getting paid full time, full ride, full benefits to study, pass the ASVAB, or get within the body fat composition that's allowable to meet that basic eligibility standard so that you can continue your Army service. This is huge. Like, I wish we had this years ago. Like, I was like, why can't we do this? Applicants literally spent over $300 for ASVAB specific tutors and like wasting money with personal trainers because they lack self-discipline to go to the gym every day and to eat right. So you're gonna eat right, work out, learn how to be healthy, you're gonna study and pass this test and move on to bigger and better things. So let's go over the academic version of the Future Soldier Preparatory Course, starting with the eligibility requirements. As you can see here, you must score between a 21 and a 30 on the ASVAB test and have qualifying line score for potential MOSs, aka your job skills. The latest and greatest update is that you must test twice for the ASVAB before being considered for this option. You must initially sign a 6-year contract, but once you successfully pass the ASVAB, you will renegotiate your contract and choose your MOS, and you can opt in for a shorter contract. So if you're going Guard and Reserve and you feel that 6 years is a really, really long time, you can opt in for a 3-year enlistment contract, or whatever the equivalent is for the minimum standards for a active duty contract if you enlisted for active duty. Additionally, if you scored over a 50% on the ASVAB during the retest during this program and otherwise eligible for incentives, you may be authorized bonuses, student loan repayment program, or the GI Bill kicker. You must be a tier 1 level of education, meaning that a tier 1 is a high school graduate or college graduate or having more than 15 college credits. If you have only obtained a GED and that's all you have, you are ineligible for this option. A potential solution is this website called Sophia. It's free for the first 30 days before they start charging you a monthly subscription fee. But if you obtain 15 college credits in the first 30 days, for $10 or so, you can get an official college transcript and now use that official college transcript, placing you from a tier level 2 to a tier level 1 education credential, now making you eligible for this program. Moral waivers for misconduct or below are authorized, but anything deemed a major misconduct or higher is ineligible for this option. Your recruiter will have some dialogue with you and figure that out. Medical waivers are authorized for this option. You must ship out to the next academic class. No exceptions, none whatsoever. Doesn't matter if you're in college, what have you, you will attend this course. And this day, that's it, no negotiations. Last but not least, you cannot contract into the clearance position or MOS. So if you have aspirations to go into like communications, human intel, or cybersecurity, or something along those lines that require a secret clearance or better, is not available for this option. So you're gonna be basically restricted to MOSs that do not require a clearance. All of this is great, and this is by no stretch of means a phenomenal opportunity for those who meet this criteria. But understand this, you might want to turn the dial and listen up, all right? Turn the volume up. You are not guaranteed, I say again, you are not guaranteed an MOS at the time that you are signing this enlistment contract. It is essentially an open contract, with the intent and expectation that throughout this Future Soldier Prep course, that you will score a 31 or better, in which at that point, as previously described, negotiate your MOS without a clearance and your contract length. Pass or fail, as long as you score a 21 or better and meet the Cat 4 option, which I'll link down below for a more thorough explanation on that, you will continue on and move on to your Army basic training. If you fail to meet the basic eligibility of a Cat 4, right, then you will be discharged and removed from the Army. It would be in your best interest to sit down with your recruiter, have some open dialogue to figure out what MOSs interest you the most and create the list of most interested to least interested, but still willing to sign a contract for, because once we get notification that you've successfully passed the ASVAB or ready to move on to basic training, we have 24 hours to lock you into one of those MOSs, and that person down there, that liaison, is gonna lock you in for your contract and MOS from there. So with that being said, if you are ending up choosing an MOS that is less interesting to you, that is perfectly fine. I suggest that you get your foot in the door, so that way at the end of your actual contract, whether that's 3 or 6 years, whatever you choose to do, if you decide to move forward, you can always negotiate changing your MOS to reclass into a different MOS at a later date, and have more options, because now you'll be afforded MOSs that require a secret clearance if otherwise eligible. A typical day, Monday through Saturday, is pretty chill. Like I said, drill sergeants are not there to go ham on you, all right? They're gonna be very chill and relaxed, but they can turn it up when need be behind closed doors. So keep that in mind. But with that being said, wake up is between 5 a.m. to 5:15. Then you'll conduct PRT, or your physical readiness training, AKA your workout for the day, and have breakfast chow. Classes will be conducted between 7:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, with chow being around 12 o'clock. After 3 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, you will have some free time to do some more studying. You can walk around, you can work out, play football, or the combination of thereof. At around 5 o'clock, you will get ready for dinner chow. After dinner chow, depending on how well you guys are performing, if you guys are listening to the drill sergeants, doing basically what you're supposed to be doing, you will have phone privileges for anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes before you will conduct personal hygiene and lights out between 8 and 9 p.m. in the evening. And just like Army basic training, you will be conducting fire guard, which is basically being on guard in the event that there is an emergency. Your sole responsibility is, one, accountability for all your soldiers or trainees, and to alert everyone to get up and vacate the building in the event that there is a fire or any other type of emergency. Saturdays are pretty chill. You don't have normal classes, but the teacher is available and walks around having some dialogue with y'all and providing possibly one-on-one blocks of instruction on any particular topics that you're struggling with in your studies, and helping out through that way. And it's more or less a study hall, reviewing and studying everything that you previously learned earlier in the week. Sunday is a pretty chill and relaxed day. You're not going to be doing organized PRT in the morning. I would expect that you'll be waking up a half hour to an hour later than usual, because you're not doing PRT in the morning. You'll have your 3 square meals a day like any other day. You'll be doing barracks maintenance all day long. So with that being said, if you're not religious, that's cool. I encourage you to go to church anyway, because going to church for that 1 hour or so is going to give you that free time away from the drill sergeants, away from the training environment, to get your woosah, to relax, all right? You'll get phone privileges as long as you guys don't mess up or anything like that. And it's just another day in training. No days off, but you're not gonna be doing anything major, but you can continue to study. So essentially, normal soldiers would go to the education center and conduct a 3-week course called BSET. the Basic Skills Education Program. And what this does is it heavily focuses on the arithmetic, reasoning, word knowledge, and paragraph comprehension. These three areas is the primary focus of this prep course. So you will be learning vocabulary words, reading comprehension skills, and obviously math. It will start with very, very basic math like multiplication, division, upgrading to algebra, to eventually college level math, to include giving you a list of vocabulary words to start studying and trying to memorize the meanings of these words. After the first 3 weeks, you will take the ASVAB retest with the intent of scoring a 31 or better. If you fail to score 31 or better, you will get reclassed and transferred to a new company where you will continue for another 3 weeks or so, and then repeat this process for up to 90 days and for up to 4 ASVAB retests. With all that said and done, I am confident to share with you that if you are eligible and you take on this option, that you are destined for success. All right, side note or bonus tip or what have you, but keep in mind, all right, disclaimer, make sure that when you do your OPAT, the Occupational Physical Assessment Test, prior to shipping out to basic training, that is a must. You have to do this, right? If your MOS that you're looking to aim for prior to shipping out to basic training requires a heavy rating, because the OPAT is MOS specific, right? So if it's rated at heavy, but you only qualify at moderate level, you will not be offered any MOS of that higher requirement of the OPAT. So keep that in mind. Do your best, shoot for the stars, and try to get heavy in all aspects of your OPAT before leaving, because that will limit you and restrict you to the MOSs that are in accordance with that OPAT requirements. You've been warned. So let's go ahead and break down the ARMS 2.0, the body fat composition portion of the Future Soldier Preparation Course. This is a huge opportunity, and I'm so grateful that this is available and afforded to our potential applicants. The eligibility requirements for this program is pretty much the same with some subtle differences, so listen up. One major difference in the academic version versus the ARMS 2.0 body fat comp version is that at time of enlistment, you will be signing for an MOS, and if otherwise eligible for an incentive, you will be signing for both of those at the time that you're signing your contract. You too will have up to 90 days to lose the amount of body fat in accordance with the ARMS 2.0 criteria. More to follow in a second, but unlike the academic version, you don't have to ship out at the next available class, and you're restricted to that, no waivers authorized. This program, however, as long as you ship out and have at least 90 days before the end of this fiscal year, meaning that you can complete the ARMS 2.0 body fat composition of the Future Soldier Prep course on or before September 31st, you're good to go. So unlike these civilian companies out there, in the military, we do have a height and weight standard. We have a minimum standard and a maximum allowable weight standard, but if you exceed your maximum weight but are below a certain body fat percentage, you're good to go. And it is age and gender specific. Cool beans, got you. So for this example, I will be using a 19-year-old male. So if you exceed your maximum allowable weight and you're at or below 24% of your maximum body fat calculation, then you're good to go, because 24% is your max. No waivers required. You're good to go. However, some time ago, we created ARMS 1.0, which is kind of an exception to that height and weight policy, allowing you kind of like a waiver to join and be no more than 2% over your maximum allowable body fat percentage. So in this example, 24% is your normal maximum body fat percentage. With ARMS 1.0, that allowed you to go up to 26%. Meaning that as long as you were body fat calculated to being at 26% body fat or less, you're good to go. Once this kind of waiver exception to this policy is approved, move on to joining and shipping out to Army basic training. But because of the fact that the Army and the rest of the military failed miserably in meeting their end strength goals last year, they're expanding this out to a new version in the Army called ARMS 2.0, which is conducted at the Future Soldier Preparatory Course. With that being said, this will allow you to go up to 6% over your maximum allowable body fat. So again, this is a 19-year-old male example. So if normally you're allowed 24% body fat, under this new version, ARMS 2.0 at the Future Soldier Preparatory Course allows you to go up to 30%. So that means if you're a 19-year-old male and you're calculated at 30% or less for your body fat, and you otherwise meet the rest of the criteria, you're now able to sign a contract, ship out to the Future Soldier Prep course, and conduct this 90-day program. And as long as you're getting in accordance with the ARMS 1.0, within that 90 days, you'll move on to basic training and you're good to go. And what does that mean exactly? So again, you're allowed to join up to 6% over. So once you're within that 2% range, again, in this example, let's say you're at the maximum, you're at 30%, you're going through the Future Soldier Prep. At the Future Soldier Prep course, you must get down to 26% or less body fat in that 90-day period. If you do, then you will move on to Army basic training, and they will tape you on a weekly basis. They will calculate your body fat on a weekly basis. And as long as you get down to 26% or less in this example, you will move on. So again, whether it's male or female, whatever your age bracket is, as long as you get within that 2% of your maximum allowable body fat, you will move on to basic training. If you fail to meet that standard, you will be processed and discharged out of the Army. So hopefully you stay with me and you understood what I was saying. Hopefully I broke it down to you so you understood. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I got you. Say less. So as previously described, once you get through the 120th AG Reception Battalion, you're gonna be transferred to the Future Soldier Prep course for the body fat comp, which is a different portion of that training. You're gonna be working out of the FTC, which is the Fitness Training Center, where you will conduct PRT 6 days a week, 2 to 3 times a day. The schedule is gonna emulate pretty much the same thing as the academic version, but more on fitness, health, and wellness. Additionally, with the workouts. What do you mean we're gonna work out 2 to 3 times a day, 6 days a week? That's excessive. Relax, chill, pump the brakes there, high speed, we got you. PRT, if you don't know this, is eventually gonna feel like a warm-up. It's not really going to overtly challenge you or make it excruciating where it's breaking down your body. PRT is designed to safely allow you to work out and maintain a basic level of physical fitness, affording you the opportunity to be able to pass the Army Combat Fitness Test. It is not overtly challenging where it's gonna help you like excel and get a 600, max out your ACFT, the Army Combat Fitness Test. By no means, it is just to have a basic level of fitness. So there are literally basic body weight exercises that you'll do 2 to 3 times a day, incorporating cardio as well. And experiencing the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, he said it! Just saying, we too had to work out for 2 weeks straight all day long because we as drill sergeants, we are evaluated at the end of those 2 weeks in our PRT. So we had to be the primary and the secondary instructors for this. So we were pretty much practicing 3 to 5 repetitions for each exercise, going through all of the PRT that you're gonna be doing. And we did this all day long. It wasn't just 2 to 3 times a day. It was all day long. And if I could do it, you could do it. And I was 39 years old when I went through it. So you're probably wondering, what are we gonna learn in class if we're not doing the academic portion? And I got you, all right? First of all, every drill sergeant that's gonna be at this course is gonna be MFT qualified, Master Fitness Trainers, and they are very good at what it is that they do. So you're gonna learn about nutrition, workouts, health and wellness, and all that stuff, and everything in between. And learning how to adjust your nutritional needs as you progress throughout this whole process and in the future as you continue your fitness and health goals. With that also said, you're gonna be working out like I said. So they're gonna be teaching you all of the different PRT sessions that you're gonna be doing throughout the Army and how to, like, let's say you're starting out from scratch. You went from the couch straight into the Army and you can barely do a push-up. They're gonna show you 2 to 3 different ways to do the same exercise, working the same muscle groups, but in a varying way to accomplish the mission, thus challenging yourself and to build your muscle and endurance, all right? So those are the types of classes that you'll be receiving throughout the day, every day, Monday through Saturday. So in addition to learning about nutrition, you're actually gonna be eating a super clean, well-balanced diet. You have no other choice because the Army is force feeding you and working you out. So you get a personal trainer and a nutritionist all in one. Free, and you get paid to do it. So with that being said, you're gonna eat 3 square meals a day. No sugary drinks, no soda, no coffee, no juices, no milk, nothing but water and the 3 square meals per day. So that is automatically gonna put most of you into a calorie deficit, which is a good recipe for fat loss. You marry that up with a 2 or 3 workouts per day, you're gonna be a fat burning machine. Hell yeah. So on a weekly or bi-monthly basis, they're gonna do a routine body fat tape test to see and track your progress. And again, once you're within that 2% range of your maximum allowable body fat, from there, you will transition and transfer to your Army basic training. So again, you could be there for up to 90 days and you have 90 days to lose up to 4% body fat to get you within that 2% as previously described, all right? It's not that difficult, it's not that challenging. You're in a controlled environment with true professionals that are gonna motivate you, inspire you, and push you beyond your perceived limits. Is it gonna be comfortable? Hell no, but you gotta get as comfortable as you possibly can in being uncomfortable. The real work doesn't begin until you get tired. You have to maintain that self-discipline. So with this training, it's great. We are force feeding you discipline. Discipline in eating right, clean, hydration, sleep, workouts, the whole 9 yards. It's all free to you and you're earning a paycheck while you're getting in shape and losing fat. This is gonna set you up for success for Army basic training. Trust me and believe me, this is a phenomenal program. So I'm very, very stoked and super excited for you. I wish you the best, do your part, and make your next chapter of life your best chapter. So what are some of the pros is that you're getting acclimated to a military environment or adjusting yourselves to a military lifestyle. And what I mean by that is you're getting used to and accustomed to waking up, dark 30, eating 3 square meals per day, conducting, learning, and getting proficient in PRT, learning about DNC, which is your drill and ceremony, how to fall into formation, conducting your stationary positions while at the halt, the facing movements, rendering the hand salute, and marching as a squad and platoon. In addition, you're gonna be learning about the customs and courtesies, how to address yourselves when speaking to a non-commissioned officer like your drill sergeant, and other aspects of being in the Army, which is gonna give you that competitive edge and the advantage to when you do actually go to basic training, you're already acclimated to that environment. Now you just have to adjust to your new leadership at a new location and actually beginning your Army career. Some of the cons I can think of is 2 things. The monotony. It's gonna be extremely boring day to day, Monday through Sunday, every day for the next 90 days. It's gonna be very, very boring, but very, very effective in achieving your goals on passing the ASVAB or losing the necessary body fat so that you can move on to the next phase of training. The other biggest issue I see with this program, and it's not an issue with the program, it's the mindset of the trainee, because when you watch videos about Army basic training, you see the drill sergeants being all rah, rah, rah in your face, being all intense and stuff. Well, the drill sergeants at the Future Soldier Prep course are obligated and mandated to be easy on you, be more like coaches versus being full hoov as a drill sergeant and smoking the hell out of you or giving you corrective training. Now, they're not supposed to be giving you corrective training, but if you royally F up, expect behind closed doors that you're gonna get dusted off. You know what I'm saying? Better prepare yourselves. But typically, they're not gonna be harassing you, being all on you, but they will be instilling discipline, teach you stuff, and get you prepared for Army basic training. So you will have to follow all of the Army's rules and guidelines and customs and courtesies. So just keep that in mind, that it's going to be frustrating at times because you're going to see trainees backtalk on occasion to a drill sergeant, and you're like, what? The drill sergeant's not going to smoke us, right? So we have a mission to get you to lose weight and to pass the ASVAB. That's the main focus. Once you get to basic training, that's where the heat's going to get turned up to the highest setting, and that is when you're going to receive that intense drill sergeant that we all love and adore with our drill sergeants. So get your minds right, prepare yourselves, don't get complacent, all right? Make the best of this opportunity. This is it. I can't say it enough. Like, I am super stoked and excited for this program. I am so happy for you all. This is opening up so many doors to so many people that would, under normal circumstances, not be eligible for this.
All these just wanna be a mini me. All these just wanna be a mini me. All these just wanna be a mini me.